Hey folks, it's the Red. Welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot 2 No Damage Run. So before we move on to the next stage, let's take a moment to look back at some of the past stage names. Such as the Eel Deal, which kind of sounds like the real deal when you think about it. There's a lot of stages that use this sort of convention. Oh, another one was Cold Hard Crash, which sounds like Cold Hard Cash. Pretty clever, huh? And now we come to Piston It Away, which sounds like... oh. Well, Naughty Dog just pulled a rare. Good night, everybody. So here we have another new stage type. We're now aboard Cortex's own spaceship. Yes, apparently 5 of the crystals that we need to find are on board Cortex's own ship. That's kind of weird. The crystals are hidden right under his nose? But I digress. Here's a new enemy type. The orange bits here will damage you if you touch them, so only use a slide to beat these things. Yeah, we're going to be encountering a lot of interesting robots like these, as well as plenty of pistons. Now these spark robots, naturally you don't want to touch the sparks. They're not too tough here, but you'll see just how much of a problem they can be later. They're pretty simple during these first parts. I rather like the space station stages in this game. I like the cosmetic feel of it, and I like the music that plays here. This is probably one of my favorites in the game. This robot doesn't give us much room to jump, but we're through. Now we have some that are sparking from above. Either hit them with the spin or with your slide. But sometimes they'll mix it up a bit, so be ready to attack them either way depending on how they're approaching you. That can make them a good bit tricky. Wait for these robots to be close to the edge before you try and slide into them. I suppose the camera being farther out would make this part a bit trickier, but honestly I don't find it too bad. You want to jump on this one, but slide the next. Your reaction time for when you attack them has to be pretty good most of the time. And here's a well-hidden crystal in the corner. So well hidden. Attacking these robots around hot pipes always makes me a little worried. And here we have a death route, but we're not going to be taking this platform just yet. No, we're going to have to backtrack to it. And what a backtrack it's going to be. Here we have a shrinking machine. It's button activated. When you press the button, a beam comes your way. This is the button. Step on it, and a beam comes at you. Naturally, if you have Aku Aku, you will get shrunk and it will instead take damage. But it is one of the funnier deaths in this game, I find. Anyway, it's bonus time. You're going to want to leave most of these boxes intact as you make your way across, because we're going to have to come back and fill in those boxes that we just passed up at the beginning. And here's the explanation box to do that. So back we go. Bounce on this crate to get across, over the nitro, and there we go. Bouncing over the nitro is a little dicey, but not too bad. So yeah, not too much to be said here. A little tricky having to go backtrack over all that nitro. But plenty manageable. We've certainly seen tougher. So after a fun leisurely ride back to the top, onward we go. Wait for this robot to start moving away from the button before you jump across. And you can bet this part here is going to be quite tricky to get past, but it is doable. Now we have some lab assistants pushing a shield. Wait until they are... Do not try and spin into them while they are pushing it, otherwise you will get knocked back. Possibly into a pit or into a piston that's about to smash you. But if you hit with a spin, follow it up immediately with a slide, you can usually take out any of them in pretty short order. Now, at this point, I've broken all the boxes on the main path, but we're going to keep moving anyway, just to see what's down this way. Excuse me. Which isn't much, really. In fact, here's the end of the level. And as you can see, we are missing quite a few boxes, so back we go. We need to go down that death route in order to get the rest of the boxes, as well as the explanation box to fill in the other boxes. Alright, the piston has gone up, so let's move. Yeah, this could be one of the nastier backtracking paths, if not just for this one section that we're coming up to. Yes, right here. Now, what you want to do is jump onto the very end of the first button, slide, and then immediately jump. Just like that. That is a pretty tricky, pretty exacting jump, but that's how you do it. And as for this part, well, you can either bounce on the enemy to get back up to the main path, or you can just try a tricky slide jump right here to get around the side of it. Alright, now it's time for the death route. Complete with sped up music. Now, wait for this one to go up, but don't immediately jump across, because you're going to wait for this. You want to wait for the second one to go up as well. And now, a blue screen. I'm not sure why it is, but it is. I rather like how the alternate screen works in later games, but we'll get to that when we get to it. I'm not sure what that screen is supposed to be doing exactly, but... Okay, here is another very tricky slide maneuver. Wait until the robot is moving away from the first button, jump to the very edge of it, and slide so that you have just enough room to hit the enemy, but not the button behind it. That can be quite tricky as well. Alright, and here we're going to need some very close timing for jumping on you, and then you. Here's the gem for the death route. And get ready to do a high jump to get onto this robot. And we're through. Set off all the nitros, head inside, and here is where we can also collect the box completion gem. So no, we don't have to go back to the main route to get that, thankfully. And with that, Piston It Away is completed. There's our crystal. Box completion. Death route. And the crash dance. So, yeah, this stage actually surprised me with how little pain it actually gave me. I was expecting a lot more outtakes than what I got, but no, just one. That's right, one outtake for Piston It Away. We'll have a look at that, and next time, we're gonna rock it. I'll see you then. So, back we go. Oh, darn it! In all fairness, I didn't even see that piston closed.